Anything else you learned from this year?
I'd urge all patriots within the sound of our voices to tell their congressmen and senators right now that they're going to be pressured to embrace the International Criminal Court, which, of course, would be another huge surrender of national sovereignty to a court that be superior to our own Supreme Court. Bilderberg's instructed Obama, who's a willing Wilkie, as I started calling him, to try to get it passed early in the year 2011. Their strategy is this. As you recall, Bill Clinton, Bilderberg himself, signed off on the International Criminal Court, but a test vote in the Senate showed more than 90 senators voting against it. But many of those left-wing senators did not want to vote against it, but they were scared of their constituents because they heard from them. Now, what Obama is going to sweet-talk the left-wing senators in his own party, maybe a couple of deserters in the Republican Party. Don't worry, this can be done very quietly. When the new, more left-wing Congress is elected in 2010, in January of 2011, when the newly elected Congress is seated on a Saturday night, late on a Saturday evening, we'll quietly pass. The Senate will quietly ratify the International Criminal Court.
And by the way, that just won't kill sovereignty. The International Criminal Court has no free speech, no rights. Very tyrannical. Now, what about Iran? What about Iran is, because the word is they're talking with Israel about letting them hit them in the next couple of years. What do you know about that from Bilderberg?
Bilderberg is not, is very concerned about whether or not there will be a big conflagration in the Middle East with Israel doing a preemptive strike. I don't know for sure, but I think they're telling Israel to try to take a deep breath now, because they are concerned. Of course, they have heavy oil interests in the region themselves, that Israel does what it now calls a preemptive strike against Iran. Iran fires back, and there's a nuclear holocaust in the Middle East. So they seem to be very nervous about that.
All right. What about their global carbon taxes? We know they're getting those in Europe, but they're having trouble in the U.S. Any word on that?
Well, they're still pressing for legislation they've had pending before the United Nations, unknown to the American people and to the public at large for 3 years or so, to create a global UN tax on oil at the wellhead, just a penny or two to start with. You wouldn't even notice you're paying it. So symbolically, you'd be paying a direct tax to the world government every time you bought gasoline for your car or your lawnmower or oil for any purpose. And then, of course, over the years, it would be cranked up to a significant amount. But to set the precedent of a direct tax by the United Nations on the people of the world, that's what's most important to them, that symbol of all-powerful government.
Are they worried about the I know they're scared about the anti-EU movement. Are they figuring out we have 179 sponsors to audit the Fed and that the End the Fed movement is rising?
They're confident they can pressure enough congressmen to block it, but we can hope they're wrong. They're a little bit nervous about it, but they believe that they'll be able to block it. We all hope they cannot.
All right. Folks, you can subscribe to American Free Press at AmericanFreePress.net and get Jim's great reports. We have a link to the stories he's written at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. You can also get his book that we sell, Jim Tucker's Bilderberg Diary, an incredible read of 30-plus years tracking and tracing them, the photos, the documents. It's just an amazing book. Get it at Infowars.com. Jim Tucker, hey, look, it's got to feel good. Been doing this 35, 36 years, and now it's breaking all over the place. We salute you, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, come back with a final segment. We were going to have Jim on earlier, and we got a time zone issue, so I'm sorry to the callers, but we'll see what happens on the other side. I got some important info coming up. Then I'll see you this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Stay with us. Well, that was a jam-packed show. I got some final news I want to hit. Maybe we'll jam in a caller. Maybe we'll go into overdrive and take all these callers. Maybe that's the answer. Who knows? But I do want to tell the listeners, about Infowars.com. We've added their ringtones on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. You see the banner to AlexJonesRingtones.com. And that's a big ringtone Christian company that puts out Christian ringtones. They wanted to put out some Alex Jones ringtones. We're glad they're doing it, and it's a great way to wake up friends and family because you can hear me ranting and screaming. You can go listen to all the ringtones for free there at AlexJonesRingtones.com. They are deciding to kill the dollar right now. They're deciding to get rid of the U.S. AAA rating. They're just running out our debt, running up the nation's credit card before they finally drop the hammer on us. I meant to get to this on the show today. I covered some of it in the first hour. New terror plot, another government provocateur setup. And then we even have the news clips in this article from back in 2006 where the Christian black street kids, they said they were Muslim terrorists that were going to launch a ground war against the United States. They had no weapons, had no targets, weren't planning it. It's the same thing here where the FBI created the group, tried to give them the weapons, and just they do this to get anti-terror funding and to legitimize the MIAC report that they've put out in the DHS report demonizing patriots here in the country. There's another story here out of the Wall Street Journal I'm going to cover on Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. when I'm back live. The Climate Industrial Complex World Business Summit on Climate Change, opening keynote address delivered by Al Gore. The Wall Street Journal hits the nail on the head here, explaining that it's like the military-industrial complex, but that it is basically a select group of corporations that want to shake down industry and business and taxpayers and control every facet of our lives. So more and more truth coming out in mainstream media. This by Bjorn Lomborg out of the Wall Street Journal. I don't know how they let them do that in the Wall Street Journal because Rupert Murdoch has directed all of his holdings. We played their own corporate piece they put out to all their corporate members to push messages of global warming being real and being a dire threat. And we need a global corporate tax. So that's an example of different camps within organizations. Of course, he just bought the Wall Street Journal a year ago. He may not have been able to purge all the reality-based people out of it. Again, sorry to the callers. I did take quite a few today, but we had 4 or 5 guests on today. So, and that's all about to restart on the streams at Infowars.com. Being restreamed right now at Infowars.com. And please don't forget the free podcast. It's linked up at the top of Infowars.com where it says the Alex Jones Radio Show. Just click there. It's on that page. And please keep spreading the word about the show. We're waking a lot of people up. People are very fertile minds right now. So reach out to everybody. Great job, listeners, taking action this week. God bless you. Great job, crew, by the way.
GCN.
The Genesis.
Visit GCNlive.com.
Communications Radio Network. Infowars.com.